amazed, I know not what to say. So quick, bright things brought to confusion, though it may seem to be like any other day. This day is fraught with illusion, a most rare vision, a vision to tarry in, a most rare vision with weed wide enough to wrap a fairy in.
Greetings, terrestrials! Greetings! Today is June 10th, 2021, and these are some strange times indeed. Yes, you are watching Strange Times Indeed with Cliff McCallister, the Czar of the Bazaar, right here on twitch.tv/Met Comedy Night. It's just me tonight, folks. It's just me. Why tonight the Maryland Ensemble Theater was presenting a wonderful new production of Midsummer, A Most Rare Vision. At least you would think they'd be doing that, but there was a rain delay for opening night. And Steven, of course, made plans to be at this show with his girlfriend Carly there. Hello, Barefoot and 52. He made plans to go see this show, as many people did. An almost sold-out production. You just saw the trailer for it at the start of the show. Anyway, he calls me up. He says, "Hey, what are your thoughts on the show tonight? I'm going out of state tomorrow." And my sister said, "Can I go and why don't we go to the movies?" She says. You'll have to forgive me. I'm multitasking on. I'll explain. He's there, and so they go to. I said, "Of course, go to the movie. We got ourselves some upgraded equipment here at the Strange Times Indeed with Cliff McCallister Studios." And so I said, "You know what? I've got the software. You go have a fun night. I'm gonna get it all set up. I'll get it all set up." And so here's what we figured out so far. We've got our pre-show right there. That ad's not gonna be playing all the time. And we've got the theme song. We've got me here. Oh, Kevin's sister. Did I say sister? I meant Steven's girlfriend. Anyway, so we are just getting this show put together right here for you tonight. I'm not much of a tech whiz. I'm no Stephen Craig when it comes to organizing these things. But I said, I think I can put this together. I think I can build this show solo. Well, I consulted on the original thing. What I'm looking at over here, for those of you on Twitch, when you see me look over here, I've got a raw feed up on my Instagram page. If you head over to my Instagram, that is at Strange Times Indeed on Instagram. Oh. Okay, and now I have to actually put that into the text box, not just the title of the thing. There we go. Okay, and if you follow me there, you can check out the unedited feed. You can see the show just without any of this, but also as a safeguard in case something goes terribly wrong as I'm trying to program this tonight. Now, of course, I don't want to send people there all the time, but this is just a little heads up. Boop, boop, boop. Hello, hello! You can see the uncut, raw, uncensored footage from this episode. The footage without all the technical doodads at Strange Times Indeed on Instagram. I hope I'm not flashing that too fast for any photosensitive viewers. I hope that was an okay speed. If I wasn't, please let me know. I would never intentionally strobe out our crowds. I figure that's a used car sale. It's Memorial Day weekend. Follow Strange Times Indeed on Instagram. Of course, Memorial Day weekend was last weekend. Here we are ourselves, folks, right on the verge of a full moon. Or not a full moon, an eclipse. And not on the verge of one, at the tail end of one. There was an eclipse this morning, folks. Let's take a bite out of some cryptid discussion. That's right, let's talk cryptids, everybody. Also, because we are just setting up the Instagram now, actually, this is why this is important. If you want to call in tonight, you can call in using the Instagram feed. You'll call in through there, and it's set up. It's right next to my microphone. Here, let's see if this is the camera that I'm getting the feed from. Okay, great. There's the microphone, and there's my camera. Here we are. So this is what Instagram is seeing. No viewers yet, but that's okay. If you want to call in, that's our hotline. That's our hotline tonight. That's how we work it solo style before I figure out how to hook Zoom into this thing. There we go. All right, folks. So if you want to call in, if you've experienced the strange, I haven't even said what the show is about yet. I just got right onto that tangent. All right, folks. Now, I don't know what everything means on this screen. And I see one thing where, like, the color's kind of wavering between red and orange and yellow and whatever. So if the connection is really off, if it seems like this is a bad idea from a standpoint where my internet connection is so bad this isn't enjoyable, please comment that as well. Otherwise, the hotline, let's go ahead and let's update that text so people know. Call in with your unexplained encounters at Strange Times Indeed on Instagram. Alright, and now to make sure there's room for all that, let's la 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 la. Okay, there we go. There we go. There's me up top center. Top center, there we go. Who am I? Well, that's a great question. Who am I? You might be wondering to yourself, who's that nice gentleman up on the screen? If you're watching us on Instagram, I'm building our show on Twitch because our normal tech guy is out, and I need a raw feed. But if you've encountered the unexplained, this is also the call-in line for tonight. Now both platforms have been briefed on the situation, and I can go back to telling you just who I was. For I, the man sitting before you, is none other than Cliff McCallister, the czar of the bizarre and host of Strange Times Indeed with Cliff McCallister. Here I sit, right here before you, every week, every Thursday at 9 o'clock on twitch.tv/metcomedynight. Let's see if we can put that text in front of that guy. There we go. Call in. Call in on Instagram. Cryptid Headquarters is joining us. Cryptid Headquarters. I was at the Snallygaster event at Monocacy Valley Brewing Company, and I got a lovely little keychain from Cryptid Headquarters. I'm not sure offhand where it is. Otherwise, I would pull it up on camera. Cryptid Headquarters. Thank you for that incredible thing. You can check them out. Cryptid Headquarters, Cryptid HQ on Instagram. They're selling some great products. They have these incredible welcome things. In fact, well, the picture's on my phone, so I'm not sure how I can get it. Let's see what happens. We might sacrifice part of this feed, Cryptid Headquarters, so I can show people the cool stuff that you have made. The cool things that you have made. We are working on the fly, folks, tonight. Live journaling about our lives. Live on screen, but folks, I promise you, when you see this art from Cryptid Headquarters, you're gonna say, I wish I had that for my cabin door. Will Steven be back next week? If that's a question about the quality of this program, the thing is, the rest of this show will be fully built by next week, but this will not be a 2-week bit. Steven may or may not be back next week, depending on his specific availability. But who am I to say that's a discussion that we tabled for later. But I said we're building it up right here on Twitch, so folks can, because this is something I have to do anyway. So why not do it tonight? The fact of the matter is, Cliff McCallister, the Czar of the Bazaar, the man Send me an address, sir, and we'll send you an official headquarters t-shirt. Oh my goodness, I'm not seeing anything on my camera. Can I get my camera back on? How do I get my camera back on Instagram? Something's wrong on Instagram. There we go. Instagram is back and going. Cryptid Headquarters, I'll send you that. And folks, here's the thing about Cryptid Headquarters. You gotta look at these things. If I had a cabin, I would put this right up there on the door. Here we go. Let me pull this up. Now that it has transferred to the machine. Look at this. Look at this right here on screen. Cryptid Headquarters, you know what the stuff that you make looks like. But here's what it is. Look at these like welcome frames. Mothman plaques. Greetings, it says. They're all perfect. I love them so much. I will get them one day. Once I get paid a little bit more, which is not, they're actually very affordable. I'm just very poor. But check them out, Cryptid Headquarters, Cryptid HQ. These incredible plaques. They've also got keychain stickers, some great designs. Check them out there. I had so many great people at the Cryptid, at the Snallygaster, Conjure Dust Designs. You check them out. They got these great pins. I got these great pins, and I got some incredible stickers from them. Sarah of the American Snallygaster Museum, of course. Our friend Katie was there. Katie, who made this mug of Wild Thing Pottery, Unicorn Nature, Mark Mace, Robot Things. I want to shout out everybody, and I don't have and an incredible woods craftsman. If somebody remembers that in the chat, please shout them out. I do not remember that artist's name, but they were like, wow, it blows me away every time I see their stuff. They're not watching on either one, so it's not helpful. But stuff, folks, incredible things are happening. So we are building out the show tonight. We're welcoming you there. All right, here's the thing, though. You said, will he be back next week? And then you just put all those little smiley faces. So the question is that question a dig or what? Like I said, I'm in high demand. So it's hard for me. Oh, actually, that's what I want. It's already set up there. Pull that into the back. Bing! There we go. Floating through deep space. Now this image, I just want to call attention to this because this is really cool. This image right here in the background, this is really a real episode for the behind the scenes nerds tonight. You look at this image right here. All of our show designs, you see it in the background. Real behind the scenes stuff. This is real, like, high level Patreon type content, and you're getting it for free, but you could be getting it all the time on the Strange Times Indeed Patreon, patreon.com/StrangeTimesIndeed. But look at this image. Now see, if you're watching on Instagram, you don't get to see this image, you don't get to see this cool part, so you gotta be watching it on Twitch, or really, you gotta be watching on both. You gotta get as much Cliff McCallister in your life as possible, and where else to do that but patreon.com/StrangeTimesIndeed. Join our Discord. I'm in there every day sharing stories in the news And the only other person who seems to see these posts is our producer, Kevin. Sometimes Steven is in there, but not that often. So we really got to liven up this community, folks. I want you to get in that Discord and let's start having fun. There's so many cool things we can be talking about in there. If you've ever called the show and you can't afford to do the Patreon or anything, if you've ever called the show, let me know. Or you've contributed art to it in some way, let me know. And say, hey, I want to get on that Discord. I will get you there. So I'm holding this thing. I love to see how the paranormal sausage is made. Yes, a special behind-the-scenes episode. And what's fun about it, when you think about it too, is this is a nice little glimpse behind the scenes of how this show comes together. We've got one more episode next week, and then I'm going into the woods to do some deep forest investigations of some mysterious vibes out in the woods. So I could be gone for a month. Now, here's the thing. If this UFO disclosure comes out after I go into the wilderness, whoa, what an awful dumb time for me to come back on the air, or for me to not be on the air. So I will be back in the event of an emergency, and that's why we're setting this up here. This is the emergency line. We don't have access to Steven. We gotta go get right out there. What if I'm sitting at home and suddenly we're launching Jeff Bezos into space? I mean, he's launching himself into space, but can't we at least watch it just in case? So, you know, let's tune in. This is the hotline line. Maybe it's not always for phone calls, but I have to have my home set up here, just in case we can't get Steven for whatever reason. So this is why this one's a little special. But I'm also a nice glimpse behind the scenes, and then we'll be back up and running at full steam next week, and then we'll disappear. It'll be a great cliffhanger for all of you, unless something crazy happens in the news. And then, like I said, we've got the emergency line, so we'll be coming back anytime you need. Strange times indeed. Now, this image in the back here, I want to show off. This is a composite image made by 3 different telescopes of the full, the central region of the Milky Way galaxy. I made it so big and now I don't know how to make it smaller. But what is fun about if you take note of some of the space images that we use on our show, on our program, you might go, oh, well, that's pretty cool. This one looks like it's from a Marvel movie. But it's not from a Marvel movie, it's from real space. And because these are images that NASA has created, because NASA is government funded, these are all in the public domain, so we can use them as much as we want. Really populate our show with some good space stuff. So there we go. That's a great little glimpse behind the scenes. If you yourself have something that you're working on that is happening in space in any way, go ahead and check it. Go to NASA's website. Get some free images of outer space, or really ramp up your stuff a little bit there. That's just a life hack for those of you artists in the crowd, as I know we have a few. All right, now let's take a look here. What's the next thing that we need? If people are watching this show, they gotta know what show it is. Right now, they just think it's Cliff McCallister. Call in with your unexplained encounters. Strange Times Indeed on Instagram. They don't know the show has a name, except for Strange Times Indeed. Which is on the set, but it also is nice to have it in the thing. Let's see. Here's what I need. We're gonna get all these pieces in here, put this puzzle together so everybody knows exactly what is happening. Do I have one with all of them? Perfect. Okay, here we go. Whoa, that's a little big. Da, 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 da. Here we go. Oh, and just like that, you wouldn't even know the difference. All right, and let's bring my name forward. After all, I am the host. Okay, that should go up there. And this is going to go here. And that is also going to go there. And that's going to slide over. And there we go. Okay, look at that, folks. Our first look, our one shot is all set up. We are rocking and rolling. Let's Command save on that. Whoa, okay, that is not what Command S does in this program. I guess it does not have a save function. Alright, wowee. Here we go. Killer timing of the music to stop as soon as I need to take a drink. Absolutely nothing to underscore this. I hope the sound is coming through alright. I haven't been keeping a close eye on the levels, but I've got it peaking in the yellows. And I'm going pretty loud. I don't know if that's making it overmodulated or what. Please feel free to give me audio feedback. I can only hear the sound of my own voice, but I cannot hear how it is actually coming through. So I just want to make sure we're not coming in too hot. Open for feedback to make this at-home show very beautiful. And I found this new space image, the one that we've got in the background today. I absolutely love it. So I think this might be our at-home look for now. Thinking about the unexplained, thinking about the bizarre. Have you had an encounter that you don't know what you are? Call in. Call in to Strange Times Indeed on Instagram. We're on Instagram Live right now. You can request to join that call, and then we'll have your audio through here. Now, typically we do this through Zoom, but we're, like I said, as has been very apparent to everyone viewing tonight, we are building the show from scratch on my home device here at the Strange Times Indeed studio. Normally I just broadcast right out to Stephen Craig, our incredible technical director, and he does all the heavy lifting. But not tonight. No. So, here we are. We've got this built. And we are getting right into it. Okay, well, that's everything we need. That's everything we got. Folks, I feel like there is something very strange going on in our world. Your audio is clear and does not skip, though, even if the video might stutter a bit. Good to know. Your lighting and clarity is solid, too. I think you are just being limited by your hardware. And I think my hardware is pretty good, too. It's just the fact. I'll be completely honest with you. I've used this program before, but it's all been set up prior to the start of the program by Steven, and for other shows. I've never run tech for my own show before in a situation that did not involve me just pressing go or pressing and let whoever into the Zoom room. I just do the lips the whole show. Steven does all the nice stuff. I've given him the puzzle pieces, but he makes it all come together. And tonight I'm using my expertise to put together. And look, we did this in 20 minutes live while talking to you people. I think that's an incredible learning curve for somebody who's doing this software live for the first time while doing the show. I really think, if anything, the only hardware limitation I probably have is the Comcast router. Comcast, the people who offered me a free router upgrade, and I said, yes, I would love a new router upgrade. They said, your router is so old, we're going to send you a new one. And I said, okay, cool, let's do it. And then it sat there. I placed this, I said, in the fall of 2019, I said, yes, I would like that upgrade. And they said, okay, we're getting it ready to ship. And I found the shipping notification, or not even the notification, because it has not shipped. I have found the notification, and I looked up the tracking number, and it's like, we're still getting it ready. And it's like, how long? I'm sorry, did you hire a bunch of ants to build this router? What is going on? So I'm trying, and every time I try to get in touch with them, they're like, customer service is awful, and not in a way where like the people on the phone aren't helpful. It's in a way that like when it would be so much easier to just have an open chat room to reach their people, and you've got to go through like 7 layers of automation to get there if you're sitting in a place near an outage. There's always an outage somewhere. So that's even more behind the scenes information about my routers and all that fun stuff. But here we are, keeping it going, keeping the show rocking and rolling. You know, that's what I've been thinking about. The problem is I want to get it replaced. Let's get into it. The problem is I want to get it replaced, but I'm about to go out of town, and the thing is when they mail you the new one, they're like, you have X amount of days to mail us the old one. And I think knowing Comcast, it's probably like 30 tops. You know, you got to put that in the mail the next day because they're going to charge you for that router as much as they can. A router this old, they shouldn't be charging for me at all. As soon as they get it back, they're going to put it in the garbage. But that's the racket. That's the profit racket that is the American internet system. Are you aware that in other countries, they have lightning fast internet and it's like basically free? And here it's like price gouged out of our buttholes, and they won't even give us the new router to let it go smoothly. So... And I've got to mail it back I got to mail back the old one, which is why I have not put... I've been less pressure because I'm about to go out of town twice. Just take the old one in and they'll hand you a new one. Hopefully. We'll see. I know people and they're like very bureaucratic about it. All these cable companies are like their own nation states. Alright, okay. Well, we are gearing up into the break, folks, but when we come back, the news? Let's see. Let's see.
I am amazed.
Greetings, terrestrials! Today is March, June 10th, 2021, and these are some strange times indeed, folks. I tell you, it still feels like March. I tell you, it still feels like March. Somehow or another, time has ceased to progress, in doing such, is moving at a lightning pace. Now, we were having explosions of UFO sightings, UFO news, all of these wild things happening, right up until the last week or so. You may recall just 2 weeks ago on the program, Colin Schulzeberger, a friend of the show, called in. He had this incredible experience, which we at first thought was attributed to Mercury in retrograde. Turns out it was more so attributed to the lunar eclipse the night before, but it had not yet been Mercury in retrograde. Now we're having this explosion of crazy sightings. 60 Minutes is covering the UFO phenomenon. And now, we come right back to our program after a light week of television watching. Oh, look, Colin's on the hotline. And what happens? What happens? We have this nice week of television watching, and it seems as if the news has really quieted down. We don't have these wild UFO sightings coming out all over. We are suddenly missing calls. Wild things are not happening. But Mercury is in retrograde. It's the time in which this is supposed to be amped up. These energies are higher. Things are stranger. Which is concerning to me, and it's concerning to me for this reason. We have all of this heightened sightings, these incidents going on prior to Mercury in retrograde. Mercury hits retrograde, and things start calming down a little bit. They get a little more normal. And so my concern is that somewhere out there in the cosmos, Mercury may have entered some sort of reverse retrograde. Or more so, in fact, Mercury is just going normal, and Earth has entered retrograde. And now we are living in this strange heightened energy zone year-round, with these brief couple week-long periods of normalcy. I mean, if you think about just the last year alone, has something happened sending Earth into retrograde? It's entirely possible, especially for those of you long-viewing fans of the show who have watched our very first episode, in which we discussed a discovery of particles coming in from beneath the planet. They were coming out from underneath the Antarctic shelf. And these are particles that come out of the sun, come through space, but they are not thin enough to pass through our planet. But they were coming out of the ice. They do not, and they could track them coming in. They don't bounce off the ice. The particles don't bounce when they hit the ice. They're just particles. But they were coming up out of the Earth, and it seemed to suggest a world in which, an existence of a reality in which time moves backwards, and in which these particles move backwards. And if the creation of that may have in fact spurned a sort of event that has spun Earth into its own retrograde, and now we are in this unstoppable parallel dimension where for just a brief moment of time, Mercury hits retrograde, and it looks as if it's just going in retrograde, but in actuality, that's just normal Mercury, and we only get that for a few weeks at a time now. I'm telling you, folks. Blew my own mind. Hey, folks, if you're just tuning in, Strange Times Indeed with Cliff McCallister is dedicated to the Maryland Ensemble Theater, the only theater with the guts to put us on the air. You can support them at marylandensemble.org/donate, and if you want to donate to us, you can go to patreon.com/strangetimesindeed. That goes directly to Stephen and myself. So Stephen can go on nice little date nights every now and then. All my communications are kaput. If that means that my sound's not coming through or something, please let me know. If other people confirm. If it's just Colin's communications issues, Colin, I'm sorry that you're not coming through. That's odd. Maybe I'm hogging my own internet by doing the stream on Instagram and Twitch, and now it's hurting everybody. Maybe I got too ambitious with how we can make this work. Alright, let's see. Article in the Washington Post today with the headline, "Contacting Aliens Could End All Life on Earth. Let's Stop Trying." Neil deGrasse Tyson had similar sentiments. Even alien old tech could probably wipe us out in one afternoon. No, my own communications because of Mercury. Okay, so Mercury has entered normalcy, and now the worst thing that's happening is that folks' communications are a little weird. I mean, we are doing this show in a bit of a bizarre way as compared to how it normally operates, but I still do think it is possible that Earth may have entered retrograde. I'm going to go ahead and say that's canon. First episode of the show spurned all this. We've got to be living in some sort of strange times indeed. And here at Strange Times Indeed, it is our job, it is our duty to expose all of the strange and bizarre things happening here on the retrograde Earth. On Earth retrograde. So we take your calls. We take your calls tonight on the Strange Times Indeed Instagram channel. We're live over there. If you've encountered something you can't quite explain, you can call in right over there, and I will talk to you over here. But not really. I'll probably just move the camera over so we can all look at you, and we can all hear you, and we'll talk together. That's how we'll make it work. For now, there's some extra loops you gotta jump through apparently to get Zoom to work on a Mac device to work through this broadcasting software that we are using. So We're doing it the best way that I can handle when I'm running the show solo. I'm not going to put you guys through the audio tech of maybe doing a Zoom call tonight. We're going to patch that off screen. That's my service to you as a responsible broadcaster. So if you've encountered the strange or the bizarre, be sure to call in on our Instagram tonight at Strange Times Indeed, and we'll bring you on air. Share your story with the world. What unexplained things are happening here on Earth Retrograde? Alright, let me catch up in the chat. We were talking about... Now, an article in the Washington Post today had the headline, this is what it said, "Contacting aliens could end all life on Earth, let's stop trying." Now, here's the thing. I used to have a subscription to the Washington Post, so I could read the news. I did this so I could read the news while working at a news station that was owned by a terrible right-wing corporation. So I could get the news from a more reputable source with a little more detail than you're going to get on a morning program. And so I'm reading the Washington Post, and if at a certain point I've moved on with my life, but I'm still paying them for the subscription, and you know, democracy dies in the darkness, so might as well give them $4 a month so democracy dies in the broad daylight. And I did that, and they started at some point publishing op-eds by Charlie Kirk, the Turning Points USA bigot, and I said, okay, you don't get my money anymore. And that's it. That's been that. And apparently there's no minimum read limit amount on the Washington Post website. So folks will send me Washington Post articles, and I would love to read them, but then it tells me, hey, you gotta... If you want to read one Washington Post article, democracy dies in the darkness, Cliff! And I'm like, nah, sorry, you broke my trust with who you're letting write op-eds in your paper. So it's gonna have to die in the dark, I suppose. Feel free, if you get an article like that, just copy and paste it, and you can send it to our email at Strange Tips Indeed. Now that is a file that I could have brought on. Let's get that there. Email. Dun dun dun. All right, folks, we are about to get even more high tech here. La la la. It would be nice if it like auto fit to the screen. Strange Tips Indeed at gmail.com. If you get a great Washington Post article that's covering this kind of thing, copy and paste the text of that into an email and just send it to strangetipsindeed at gmail.com. Journalism is information for the people. And if you want to educate the masses and truly use journalism to create change, you've got to put that out for everyone to read. The reason there's such this disparity is that you put the facts behind a paywall. Send the article, copy and paste the entire text, any article behind a paywall thing, to strangetipsindeed at gmail.com. I know you might think, is that advocating a crime? No! You heard what I said about journalism. This is my First Amendment right. This is my Freedom of Information Act request that you send me that article from the Washington Post. So please do that for me. I'd love to read this buffoonery. Why contacting aliens could end all life on Earth, let's stop trying. Now, here's the thing. Could contacting aliens end all life on Earth? Well, first of all, yes, and here's why. If that is truly the headline, we're gonna have a problem. Because the term is not aliens, it's extraterrestrials. And we're not co-opting that language. So first of all, if we come at them with that, then the presumption for them, I'm sure they've seen Alien, the Ridley Scott film, featuring the incredible xenomorph. An incredible, frightening, sexy machine. Not a machine at all, really. A sort of ecological bioweapon. Really hard to describe what it is. But what it is something that surprise, the government and corporations want so they can use it as a weapon. Because it's the ultimate killing machine. But a real creature. And they think when they come to our planet, when the extraterrestrials come and we refer to them as aliens, that's what they're going to think. They're going to think that that's what we think they are. Is that they are these ruthless, like, killers. It's setting a bad precedent. It's dangerous. If we are referring to them by the preferred term of extraterrestrials, then we acknowledge each other's humanity. And even in that case, humanity probably not the correct term. Because now we're not all humans in the scenario. Some are extraterrestrials. But all of us have a home. And we must phone home. We call them extraterrestrials. Or they are just simple, peaceful beings passing through our atmosphere. If they wanted to hurt us, they would have done it already. But if we come at them with this kind of attitude, of course it's going to end all life on Earth. If we come at them guns a-blazing, of course it's going to end all life on Earth. The extraterrestrials have incredible technology that is capable of bringing them light years through our galaxy, or from beneath our seas, from the depths of our own world. Whatever option is bringing the UFOs to us, these extraterrestrials have technology beyond our capabilities. Just to reach here? Can you imagine what their defense systems are like? No, the minute we come at them with hostilities, it's over for the human race. Now, if Let's Stop Trying is to imply that, like, we've got a real problem that we gotta sit back and look at as a species with how we treat one another, then yes, let's tackle that first. Let's get the plank of wood out of our own eye before we start making assumptions about the extraterrestrials. But if it means let's stop trying to reach contact because they are naturally have all these capabilities and will destroy us regardless? No. If we can attain peaceful first contact, then there is hope. Well, why not have these incredible allies, these potential friends? Alright, here we go. Cliff, have you seen a bear wandering around Frederick? Do you think he's there because Mercury is in retrograde? Well, Spock's soul was the most human Kirk had ever met. Okay, let's get back to that, because I think this one's replying to what I said. It's really been bothering me since the USO episodes. What makes us so sure that aliens will present as humanoids? And what if we see them all the time and we just don't detect them, like dolphins and hitchhikers? But not literally the dolphins, just that concept. Well, let me tell you something, Clark. We touched on this just a little bit during our Invisible Residence series, but this does drive a great question. What makes us so sure that when the extraterrestrials come, they will present as humanoids? And really, there's no way of knowing. Now, I think that I would presume to say, at least in this interpretation, that even the humanoids may include, like, the Greys, which are bipedal, and they're short, and they have the large heads and the big eyes, but that they're still kind of, they're more human looking. They're just kind of like a distorted version of what we are. But if you mean specifically like humanoid type races separate from the Greys, there's so many things. Oh, Star Trek told us they would. But here's something that was interesting. I did not touch on this that much when we were covering Invisible Residents, but it was a wild left turn in the final chapter. And what Ivan T. Sanderson supposes is that this advanced species that has been living underwater, and I touched on this very quickly, but let's get into it a little bit more now. Ivan T. Sanderson supposes that this advanced race that is living underwater, these that have been responsible for unidentified flying objects and unidentified submersible objects, objects coming out of the ocean, the vast majority of UFO sightings have occurred over water or near water in that vicinity, which makes sense because the Earth is a large percent water. I don't know the exact percentage. I'm not going to try. More than 50, that's for sure. The Earth is mostly water, except for all of the Earth beneath the water, which could be filled with who knows what. Could be an advanced underwater species. And what Ivan T. Sanderson supposes is that this species is so advanced, either technologically or psychically, their own brain powers are so powerful, that when we have incidents that we can't explain in our own plane of existence, when we have ghosts or poltergeist activity that cannot be explained, these are the advanced underseas race reaching out and interacting with us and watching us, either telepathically or technologically, kind of teleporting their essences up into our world. And so that the ghosts that we may in fact witness, and folks may call in and share about on this show, might in fact be an advanced underseas race. Species even. And so, what could they be? What might they look like? It's impossible to know for sure. Baffling, frightening, maybe frightening in the way some bugs may be frightening. But we don't necessarily know that there's any actual reason to be afraid of them. So why don't we come at them with peace? Why don't we come at them from a peaceful perspective? There's no reason we gotta come in guns a-blazing. Welcome the unknown. Earth is in retrograde. And we are just doing our damnedest to get by, folks. I was asked about the bear that has been wandering around downtown Frederick. I did not think that was too odd, although I will say I think the strangest thing about it is that there have been so many sightings of this bear, and it has not been like a thing that we've watched people chase down on a news helicopter, and at the same time it's also they haven't gotten it yet. No one can keep an eye on this bear for too long, which is what I find a little odd about it. You'd think a bear like this, a bear of this size, wandering through a city like downtown Frederick, people would be able to keep track of this bear, and animal control could get this bear safely, hopefully, out of the city. But it just seems to pop up and phase in and out of existence. And while I don't necessarily think that may be Mercury in retrograde, because Earth is in retrograde, and everything is thrown out of a loop. But right now, this is the closest we're going to get to normal. And if an interdimensional bear is the closest that we're going to get to normal for some time, folks, terrestrials, these are some strange times indeed. Well, nobody's watching on Instagram, so folks, those of you joining us on Twitch, thank you so much for joining us on this journey tonight as we put together the show. We rebuild it right here for the emergency, the need. I gotta make like a breaking news sign that we can put on there, but it'll be even spiffier next week. We just had to lay the groundwork, and I said this is something I can do very easily on the show, and it'll be fun, and we'll do it. And so we did. So thank you for sticking with us and watching this nice little program. Earth is in retrograde, my friends. I don't know what is going on right now. Everything is bizarre. Everything is weird. And it all started with these little particles coming out from beneath the Earth, implying the existence of another dimension where time moves backwards. And if we found those particles, could it not be possible that it's not because this dimension is leaking through, but because we've shifted planes into that dimension? It all tracks back to the first episode. Tune in on Instagram. Just kidding. We're not doing the show on Instagram that much anymore. We do it right here on Twitch because it looks better, and we've got the technology to make it look this pretty. Oh my gosh. Spangler's having an adventure. Let's take a live look at the little guy before we go away. What's he doing over there? Hey, little guy. How's that record player? Hey, can you hit play on that for me? Can you hit play on that for me? What was that? Alright, well, he's doing his own thing right now. Anyway, thanks so much for tuning in tonight, everybody. I had a blast. Maybe the bear is a non-humanoid alien. The bear is very much being judged like the extraterrestrials. The ETs. I know extraterrestrials is a lot to type, but Colin's doing it right over there. Doing it right over there. The bear is very much being judged by the ETs. That's all you need. That's how you get the wording right, if you gotta fit it in a headline. If you fit it in the headline, we're talking a lot about journalistic integrity. Journalistic integrity and OBS 101. That's the title of this episode. So thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. Thanks so much to the Maryland Ensemble Theater, the only theater with the guts to put us on the air. Hey, you might have noticed the trailer. Midsummer, A Most Rare Vision, is happening right now in the Forest of Thurmont. Well, not right now. Technically, the Tonight Show opening night was canceled because of the weather. But the opening night is now Saturday at 1 p.m. I think that might actually be sold out. A number of the productions are sold out. There are very few left. If you're interested in seeing that show, it's selling out, so you better get your tickets or you're not going to go. Go to marylandensemble.org/midsummer. Tell them Cliff sent you. You won't get anything for it. But hey, it's always nice. Actually, here's the thing. Tell them Cliff sent you. In the comments, anytime you buy a ticket to a Maryland Ensemble Theater show, put in the comments, say, Cliff sent me. Cliff McCallister sent me here to buy this theater thing. Maybe I'll start getting some respect around here. No, I'm kidding. I get plenty of respect. Like I said, they're the only theater with the guts to put us on the air. Anyway, if you want to support us directly, outside of just supporting the Maryland Ensemble Theater, come on, camera. I need the camera to at least find my focus. That's the one thing that drives me crazy. Sunday shows are the only ones left. If you're interested in going Sunday, head to marylandensemble.org/midsummer. The sellout success and immersive outdoors theatrical celebration. If you want to support us here, Strange Times in Need with Cliff McCallister. Oh, wait, before we do that, let's keep on the Met track. Twitch.tv/Met Comedy Night, the place where you're watching. Be sure, please, to follow us here, subscribe, whatever, and tune in next Wednesday. Oh, crits, school's out, summer camp, rolling dice, breaking hearts. It's going to be broadcasting Wednesday at 8 o'clock. They're doing an actual play of Blades in the Dark. So be sure you check that out. It's a lot of fun. They're playing real D&D live. Our D&D improv group is now sitting down and rolling actual dice, playing some real games right here on Twitch. It's exactly what Twitch was made for. So go ahead, check them out. It's going to be a lot of fun. That's happening next Wednesday at 8 o'clock. It's a bi-weekly show. So you can find it right here, where you find Strange Times in Need with Cliff McCallister. And if you've been enjoying Strange Times in Need with Cliff McCallister and you want more, you want bonus content, and you feel yourself to be somebody who values the strange, the unexplained, somebody who believes that Earth is in retrograde, that Earth is in a state of permanent retrograde, then you yourself, may yourself be a member of Cliff McCallister's Strange Time Society for Seekers of the Bizarre. You may want to be a member But to be a member, you gotta support us at patreon.com/strangetimesindeed. We've got multiple tiers of supporting, but all of them get you on our Discord, so you get to communicate with other Secret Society members. Society of the Strange. Strange Time Society. There's so many names that it could be. But it's the Strange Time Society for Seekers of the Bizarre. Join us there. There are so many tiers of different levels of membership you can support, but y'all get to join the Discord. If you've ever called into our show or you've contributed art to our show in any way, and Lee and you, Simon who did these illustrations of me on the side, let me know that you'd like to join our Discord. I'll send you an invite. Hop right on there. Because our show would be nothing without the people who call in and who contribute to it. So if you're like, I can't support the Patreon, but I would like to be on the Discord, let me know. We'll at least get you on the Discord. If you want to support us on Patreon, you'll get extra content. You get all sorts of fun stuff. And if you join at the $9 level, you're going to get membership cards. We're working on the design. You're going to get membership cards in August when I return to this plane of existence after my exploration into the deep forests. You can learn more about my exploration into the deep forest. I'll be keeping you posted with regular dispatches, audio or text, on our Patreon feed. You get that exclusive content. You get to know what Cliff McCallister is doing out there. What is he looking for out in the deep woods? So get all of that stuff. Support us, patreon.com/strangetimesindeed. Thank you to each of you who viewed, for commenting, for having fun in the chat. Thank you so much. A great night was had by all. So, all of you, for Strange Times Indeed with Cliff McCallister, I've been your host, Cliff McCallister, the Czar of the Bizarre. Stay strange, terrestrials.